Hi and welcome to Team Banana. I'm Jay and today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different, and that different thing is the Varistream Digital. It's a digital pump controller used by window cleaners with professional kitted out vans and basically other irrigation systems, anything that needs control over a water pump. So we're going to be looking at this. What's been happening with it is people have been coming to me saying, they're faulty, they're not working, which they very much have been. It seems incredibly easy to break one of these things, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to open it up and show you the insides of it, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've opened up the Varistream. There's only 4 screws on this device. Standard size 4 Phillips screwdriver should take these out. But again, if you don't have that size, it is double slotted screws. They'll accept a standard flathead. But these screws aren't particularly fussy. I usually recommend that you do use the correct screwdriver, but these aren't fussy. They're designed just to be opened with whatever's at hand. Anyway, so what have we got inside? Well, we've got the cables coming in, and this model or version of it, the wires are connected on a removable screw block, and instantly, as you can see here, we've got one of the sockets is actually burnt out on this device, which isn't good, and this is actually a common fault. This is one of the major things which seems to happen with this, burning out on the negative rail of the, what is that? That's the pump side actually. So it's like there's some kind of earthing problem in regards to the pump. And also 9 times out of 10 these things are swimming and filled with water, so yes, it is a mixture of people fitting these in the wrong location within their vans and the areas where they're using this device, but on top of that, there are some design flaws in this device. So if you're watching Williamson Pumps and Varistream, if you want some of my ideas on how you can actually improve this device, then get in touch, because I've got a few. So I'm just going to go off camera, because to remove this board, we're going to have to squeeze down these little pegs with a pair of pliers, and they've got like little fins on them. If you imagine this is the plastic peg, they've got some little wings that open out like that on them, and the board is like here, so we need to squeeze the wings down so they come out of the board, they pull through the board. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Once we've done that, we'll have a look at the board in general. Okay, so as promised, I've taken the board out of the front fascia here, as you can see. It just pops off. In this particular revision, these little plastic posts are particularly tricky. They don't want to let go of the board. Now, I have already repaired the problems that the user of this unit was having, but we're going to go over them. We're going to have a look at what's going on and how you could fix it yourself. So, as you saw, the negative side of the pump connection was actually burnt out, and you can even see in the socket housing it's actually browned and burnt this as well. Now, the pin really had sustained some heat fatigue, but in this case it was savable. Sometimes these pins just had it, and it's going to take a lot more intervention in order to fix this, sometimes to the point where you have to take this whole green connector block off, desoldering it at the pins, making sure not to damage the copper pads that's on the board, using a desoldering pump and some desoldering braid. preferably a temperature controlled soldering iron as well, because we want quick and hot, quick removal and removal of the socket, so we're not damaging the board, and we're not using we're not using too much heat for too long, because it's already gone through enough stress from the burnout it's had on this pin. So in this case, let's talk about this, because this is what I've fixed and this is what's happened on this one. All I've done is I've cleaned out the socket from any debris that was in there after the burnout. I've then used some emery cloth to clean up the pin, so the pin has now got viable contact with metal surfaces. I tested this using a multimeter, putting it on the continuity setting, which is a setting which will make a beep sound when you put the two prongs together. In fact, I think within arm's reach I have a multimeter, so we'll just check that out. Yes, we do. Okay, brilliant. So we've got run-of-the-mill multimeter, and the continuity setting is this one down here. Now each multimeter is a bit different, but I'll show you for all intensive purposes the beep sound. So it's on that setting, and just put it near the microphone here. So as you can hear, it makes a beep sound. That's a continuity. That lets you know that the electricity is flowing through the contact again, and simply by placing it on the back side of the pin and then touching the pin with the other end, you can see that there's good contact all around that now. So we know that that's made contact. So that's that part. What else was wrong with this was the button. Because of the plastic posts, the button wasn't quite, there'd been a bit of stress over time, so we've just gone and raised the button up a little bit so that can be used again. On the other side, on the socket side, all we've done is the same again really. I actually removed the, I've opened this connector up and I actually cleaned down all the metal contacts. But failing that, you could be able to get hold of a very thin diamond coated needle file and just post that in there and give it a little twiddle around, and just abrade any of the burnt sort of oxidization off of the connectors. And exactly the same thing again, I replaced the cable altogether that was going through this, because on the actual screw terminal the cable itself was fatigued, so I just decided to go ahead and replace that with a new piece of cable. Again, multimeter in this end, testing it on the screw terminal here. Great, it works. Checking it through the cable end as well, checking that. Great, it works. So I've powered this device up, it works, and that's this fixed. But as I was saying, a lot of these tend to get flooded. They tend to get a whole other bunch of issues as well. So again, if Willingson Pumps want to get in touch, I've got plenty of ideas on how to fix the Varistream and improve it so this doesn't happen again. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together now and get it back to who it belongs to. So I'll catch you guys later.